everyone, I have a book review because I just finished The Bad Luck Wedding Dress by Geralyn Dawson. Just a little closer view of it. I literally just finished this seconds ago and I had this all prepped. My thoughts on this book. This was an interesting book, but it's not one that I plan on keeping or, rereading because, well, it's a library book. The barcode and like that. Yes. Yeah. As I said, it was a very interesting book. It's quite a good book, but it's not one that was worthy of my money. That's my thing. And I'm a little slow. Why is it a little slow? Why are we a little slow? I don't know why. Okay. Alright. What else can I say about this book? Alright. Oh my god, I'm gotta stop. So, the plot story of this, in general, that's what I really found interesting. I like this, every chapter beginning, if I can find one where I just opened the book. And these chapters were quite long. It was a little annoying when the chapters were a little long, but the content was okay. Because here you go. This part here, it has every beginning chapter. It's a little, if you read it, it's going with the whole bad luck or luck theme of it, that telling you how to reverse bad luck if, like, something happens. It shows how to reverse bad luck if it happens, or showing you, like it said, like, pick up a penny and put it in your left shoe to receive good luck. That was literally on the last chapter I just read. That. There you go. If you find a penny, pick it up and put it in your left shoe for good luck. So each chapter had that, and that was interesting. It was little interesting little tidbits, just, to go along with the whole luck theme of the book. I don't know if it's like that with all the other books, because 3 of the books are these, like, bad luck wedding things. And then the other 3 are Her Scoundrel, which is what I have, Her Outlaw, and there's, I actually have the thing here, hold on. Sorry, there's only 2 bad luck things, and then there's Simmer All Night and Sizzle All Day. Sorry, there's 3 bad luck wedding themes. And then there's 3 her ones. There's Her Bodyguard, Her Outlaw, and my book is Her Scoundrel. So, yeah, I don't know if it's gonna, like, be like that with all of them, but it might be like that with, like, the bad luck wedding themes titled books. Yeah, I like the plot of the story of, like, how the whole thing went through. It was very good. The 2 characters, Jenny and Trace, they were interesting. I very much flipped back and forth between liking them and not liking them. I didn't like them at first, and then I liked them, and then I didn't. It's just the way their personalities went, and it's like, why are you seriously being like this? Like, really? You're acting like this? This is really stupid and ridiculous. And then later they would be like, oh, I love them. Like, sometimes individually, I liked them individually, or like, when they did coupley things, it was like, oh, I love that. They're so great. And then Trace has 3 daughters, and they were an interesting part. This is all in third person, which I love. I love it so much better than whatever that other thing was that I mentioned in a previous book review. But the kids were a great additive to the story. And yeah, they're known as the McBride Menaces, because that's Trace's last name. It's interesting, and it's all set in the year 1879, so I don't know, I can't say much. Like, they each, I don't know. And then the eldest of the 3, Emma, I liked how she kind of she kind of gradually grew as the story progressed, and by the end, my screensaver just turned on, so now I'm a little blue. Like, she progressed as she's only 12. Her age is mentioned. She's either 11 or she's 12. She's a 12-year-old little girl, and at the beginning portion, like maybe like the first 2/3, she is kind of acting her age as a 12-year-old, but gradually from almost like the halfway point to the end, she gradually, excuse me, starts becoming a little more mature for her age, and I liked that little progression of her character. Now, Trace kept getting a little annoying at times when the fact of his past kept coming up, and certain things from his past would affect his present, and it was just really annoying of how deeply it affected him. And he's like, just no, and then no, and no, and no, and no. But that does get fixed. He does have a progression of like him becoming better of himself. Jenny doesn't really change much. She just it's sort of like, because of her relationship with Trace and his daughters, she doesn't change, but her personality and the way she is, just certain stuff gets added to what she already is, and that was a good thing. I know I'm being really weird, just because I have a lot of large print books that you might know. I think I should have done 3 book reviews for the Antiminity, and 4 of them are large print, and I had so much enjoyment of, I never lost my enjoyment of reading it, or like the warmth and the coziness. But I feel like because of the way this was written, no, not written, typed, because it is a large print, I lost my enjoyment. It's very rare for me to lose, to not feel a lot from the book. But I think it's because this was a large print, and it is an adult romance. This would definitely come in a mass paperback. But I think because it was like this, I had to reread I had to reread certain sentences and like paragraphs. Certain paragraphs, like there's a lot of big paragraphs right there. But like sort of like this like minor one there, I feel I had to reread those like a few times, and I think that's how I lost my full enjoyment of the book. Like once I started actually fully reading it, like I just was, continually reading it, I did get into it at certain points. But yeah, I think that's why I'm not wanting to put money into this book. And there's like 2 sections where there's like climactic thing and you think it's gonna end, but it doesn't, and another climactic thing happens. But they're good. I like the second one feels like a little, it prolongs it to, it feels like it should have ended the first climactic thing that happened. But I think it helps tie up the story all together with what happens after the first, like, usually you have a big thing like a kidnapping, or, well, more than likely like the kidnapping, like either the killer, the kidnapper, or like, the big thing that is a mystery at the beginning half of the book. By the second, they sort of come to light and sort of thing. Those 2 things that happened in this book, the first one made sense, but the second one, it made sense in a way for certain information in the book to like sort of wrap itself up, which worked. But still, it was an enjoyable book at points. But as I said, I'm not buying it. This is definitely this is definitely a Western romance, and if you like Western romances, I'd say read this. It was enjoyable, but other than that, I wouldn't really recommend it fully. Yeah, I'm having a hard time talking about it now because just the way I felt, sort of thing. And I have the second book, which is The Bad Luck Wedding Cake, on interlibrary loan. So I sent it into the interlibrary loan system thing, and eventually, hopefully, I will get it from a different. Oh, geez. This cheek, I seem to have bit it numerous times, and there's a nice big chunk of my cheek in towards my mouth, and I keep catching it, and it's really annoying. Anyway, I have to wait for, to be notified of, whether a different library system has, the second book. Yeah, so I'm on to one of my own personal books, which is this one, Sunlight and Shadow by Cameron Doki. And I've actually never read this book. This is all new to me. And so, I'm gonna read the little stuff that's here. Her love is trapped between night and day. And this is a new spin on The Magic Flute by an acclaimed author. I'm gonna get my, sorry, my nose was itchy. My little note thing here, because it actually has, the thing. What's my title? Sunlight and Shadow, where is it? Yeah, it's just a, not a reimagining, a retelling of The Magic Flute. So, and I've never heard of this fairy tale of The Magic Flute. So, I'm gonna read the back now. In a time when the world was young and many things were quite commonplace that are now entirely forgotten. Sarastro, yeah, this is a funny, these are a lot of funny names. I did look up, it's apparently, I don't think it's a fairy tale, but it's a play, a musical, no, a play, or an opera. I did this when I was getting all the information on these books. And yeah. So it's Sarah and Stro, Sarastro, Sarastro, Mage of the Day, commonplace that are now entirely forgotten, Sarastro, Mage of the Day, wed Pamina, the Queen of the Night. And in this way was the world complete. For light was joined to dark. For all time would they be joined together. Only the ending of the world could tear them apart. In other words, in the days in which my parents married, there was no such thing as divorce. Okay, that's an excerpt from the actual book. Oh my god, is that confusing for me. Okay. Thus begins the tale of Mina, a girl child born on the longest night of the darkest month of the year. When her father looked at her, all he saw was what he feared. By birth, by name, by nature, she belonged to the dark. So when Mina turned 16, her father took her away from shadow and brought her into sunlight. In retaliation, her mother lured a handsome prince into a deadly agreement. If he frees Mina, he can claim her as his bride. Now Mina and her prince must endure deadly trials of love and fate and family before they can truly live happily ever after. So apparently she's going to fall in love with this prince, and he, like, her in turn, not just like, oh, this is a marriage of convenience of other such. But they have to go through trials because of such. I don't know. This is Cameron Doki's third fairy tale thing retelling. Yeah. Step away from your mother, young Pamina. The Lord Sarastro said, I will not ask again. Instead, I will compel. Okay. Oh, so, wait, what? 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 Okay, I am confused now, because it said, you know, the parents of Mina are Sarastro and Pamina. But here it says, young Pamina, said her father, Lord Sarastro. And so I stepped away, pulling my hood down over my face, for I had begun to weep in earnest, and did not want to give my father and those who did his bidding the satisfaction of seeing me cry. The second I stepped away from my mother, I could feel the wind begin to rise, tugging on my cloak with desperate grasping fingers, howling like a soul in hell. Sorry, I'm trying to keep an eye on my record thing there. Over the scream of the wind, I heard my father shouting orders in a furious voice. Then I was gripped by strong arms, lifted from my feet, and thrown like a sack of potatoes over someone's shoulder. The last thing I saw was the flame of my father's torch, tossing like some wild thing caught in a trap. The last thing I heard, dancing across the surface of the wind like the moon on water, was a high, sweet call of bells. Okay. Well, I'm thoroughly confused. Are you confused yet? There's no chapters in this one, which is weird. Okay, well, that's all that's here. So, this is my next book, and I'm hoping it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, so, yeah. So, this was my book review, and I hope you enjoyed it. It may not have been the greatest book review, but it's my honest book review of The Bad Luck Wedding Dress. But yeah, you can go read it if you want. I'm not recommending you read it, but you can read it if you want. And leave a like, hit that like button down below if you liked my book review. And you can leave comments down below if you've read this book. Yes. And if this is the first time you're watching my video, hit that big red subscribe button down there by my picture for more book reviews, hauls, unboxing, and bagging, because some things come in a bubble wrap manila envelope or a plastic bag wrapped thingy. Vlogmas, random vlogs, and random videos. I have no idea what to categorize. Alright, so I'm gonna get going now and continue watching YouTube videos, read my book, and, you know, get snuggled into bed. Good night, everyone.